Hello and welcome to Temple Update. I'm Raina Stewart.
And I'm Becca Hendrickson. The search continues today for the suspects who robbed a group of Temple students off campus. Police are still looking for the armed gunmen who bound and robbed Temple University students in their home on Sunday night. Update's Rocco DeSangro is live on the 1900 block of 18th Street where the attack took place. Rocco?
Thanks, Becca. I spoke to neighbors and witnesses about the robbery and the reoccurring concerns of off-campus security. Police say two armed gunmen broke into a private residence on the 1900 block of North 18th Street on Sunday night around 8 p.m. 7 Temple students were held against their will as the two men made off with electronics and an undisclosed amount of money. Police say one student was left injured after being pistol-whipped in the face. Paul Kruger was a witness to the crime as he was in the house when the robbery took place.
Took phones, wallets, like 3 laptops, 2 Xboxes, and just everyone's money.
Kruger wants to see some new resources in case of emergencies to not only help the students, but also the police investigations.
If we had like security cameras, like maybe on like the light posts, or like on these posts over here, you know, we could have potentially like called the people who did it, or at least had a better idea of who it could have been.
Mike Rudy, a friend of the victim, is also a student living in the recent border expansion area and thinks the territory can use some extra safety measures.
With the expansion, they should also bring those blue emergency poles out here.
Now, police are saying it is unlikely the robbery was a random act. No arrests have been made, and the investigation is still ongoing. Live from 18th Street, I'm Rocco DeSangro. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Rocco. And that robbery happened just days after another Temple student was assaulted. This time just 1 block away from campus, a 19-year-old female Temple student was hit from behind while walking on the corner of 13th and Oxford. After the attack, some students are asking why they weren't notified by TU Alert. Executive Director for Public Safety, Charles Leon, says this incident did not rise to alert status.
No one was injured. There was no motive of robbery. There was no weapons involved. But that's not to say that we won't take a look the next time and put it out.
And the witness who stopped the attack has asked to remain anonymous, but told Temple Update, "I think it's disgusting that Temple did not notify the student body when the woman was attacked in front of my house."
Nearly a year has passed since Temple made the decision to cut 5 varsity sports, and some athletes who lost their jobs remain hopeful of being reinstated. Update's Colin Massetti has the story.
On December 6, 2013, Temple University athletics administrators delivered deep-cutting news. The university announced its plans to reduce the number of varsity teams from 24 to 17, which went into effect on July 1, 2014. Among those cut programs was men's gymnastics.
It took a second to actually hit home, but then when I sat there and I saw my teammates crying, it hit me, and I broke down then.
It was really hard to watch them go through that and then just to struggle through the year and all the emotions.
We're hoping, again, to be a varsity someday, whether this year, next year, 10 years from now. But for the most part, we try to keep it out of our minds as we're competing.
Yeah! Although the athletes know that their sport may never be reinstated, that certainly isn't keeping them out of the gym.
The club department decided to have us as a club team here now and separated from the co-ed club team, so it's still fair to us and to them.
We're kind of trying to mirror like a Division I team where we're still in here 6 days a week and we're training Monday, Wednesday, Friday mornings also.
We had to pick 4 officers, a president, a vice president, a treasurer, and a secretary to take charge and lead this team. We're pretty much the coaches, and we put together our competition schedule.
The only meet that the team is not allowed to compete in is the NCAA championship. They are allowed to compete in any D1 meet, including the conference championship. They have proven that while they may not be an official D1 program anymore, they still compete like D1 athletes. Reporting for Temple Update, I'm Carly Massetti.
The Temple Association of University Professors has reached a tentative contract agreement with the university. TAUP is the union representing faculty, librarians, and academic professionals. TAUP President Arthur Hockner says he's satisfied with the outcome.
We're very happy with it, and I hope the members are as well. And we'll find out next Monday whether they passed it or not, but I'm confident that it's going to pass.
Union members can vote to ratify the agreement on TAUP website until Monday.
Possession of a small amount of marijuana is now a civil offense in Philadelphia. Mayor Michael Nutter signed the decriminalization bill earlier this month, and it went into effect on Monday. Some students told Temple Update they think the bill is a step in the right direction.
I think it's good. I don't think marijuana is a dangerous drug. I don't think there's any reason people should be thrown in jail for it.
I think it's definitely a good thing. It's a step in the right direction. I think as seen in states like Colorado and Washington, where marijuana has recently been legalized, there's nothing but success. So I think it's a good step for the Northeast to take action there.
Now, possession of 30 grams or less will be a $25 fine, while those caught smoking in public will be fined $100. And Decision Day 2014 is less than 2 weeks away, and Temple Update continues to track this governor's race.
Update Stetson Miller's live in the newsroom. He's been looking at how Temple is helping students get informed on the issues. Stetson?
Hey, good morning, Becca and Raina. Temple is helping students to be informed about this election between Governor Tom Corbett and opponent Tom Wolf. And the Beasley School of Law held a panel discussion with poverty experts regarding some issues in the race.
Temple has been keeping students in the know about the upcoming election. At the law school this week, students sat in on a symposium about issues for the upcoming governor's race, like poverty, disabilities, immigration, and aging. Executive Director of Community Legal Services, Kathy Carr, spoke to students about issues like landlord-tenant law legislation.
And of course, there's legislation that will be passed during the 4 years of the next governor's term, and that legislation may impact on landlord-tenant law. We've been recently very involved in Harrisburg around a landlord-tenant act, which would take some certain rights away from tenants.
We asked one Temple senior what matters to him in the upcoming governor's election.
The biggest issue by far is education, because Philly schools are really, really struggling. Yeah. They are not getting the funding they need. They're not getting the support, and the solutions, I think, are not helping as much as they wanted.
So Temple students and Pennsylvania residents will now have to choose between the two Toms on Election Day, which is just less than 2 weeks away. We'll continue to bring you election coverage right here on Temple Update. Raina?
Thanks, Stetson. Education is a big issue in this election, and just a few blocks away from campus, one Temple class is using an educational resource for anyone interested in science and history. Update's Ginger Ruseo visited the Wagner Free Institute of Science.
Here at the Wagner Free Institute of Science, Temple students are studying exhibits while doing their assignments. Professor Kenneth Finkel is teaching an American studying class inside the old Cavernous lecture hall on the first floor of the museum. Finkel says the Wagner Institute is a very special place, and students should take advantage of it.
I went to Temple as an undergraduate. I did not even know this place existed. If I had known it, it would have enriched my experience at Temple.
Students are able to work closely with historical artifacts rather than slides or photos. The Wagner building has not changed since the 19th century, allowing a glimpse of Victorian-era architecture. This amazing structure, located on 17th Street and Montgomery, might look at home on Temple's campus, but these two institutions have never collaborated with one another until this semester.
I mean, I really enjoyed the class. As an art history major, I feel like it's such a treat to actually be on site at a museum each week and actually get outside of most of the lecture halls and the PowerPoint system. And it's great, almost in-depth experience to actually be in the collection itself and see firsthand the specimens.
Starting this semester, Temple University and the Wagner Institute of Science are joining together to give students the opportunity to get out from the traditional classrooms and take a walk through time. Reporting from Temple Update, I'm Ginger Ruseo.
You may have noticed a change outside of Annenberg Hall. Temple Update live outside of Annenberg right now, and you're looking at the new SMC News ticker. The ticker will be screening information from CBS 3 and KYW for now, but Dean David Boardman plans to get SMC students involved with the ticker.
Ultimately, as we develop out, and grow Temple Update and Temple News and WHIP, ultimately I'm hoping we can largely supply it ourselves.
In the future, students can expect to see TU alerts as well as local and national news displayed on that ticker. And coming up on Temple Update, we'll go underground to find out how Temple students are getting around London.
And Chelsea Reed and the Fairweather 5 are bringing jazz back. Update's Karina Chung gives us a listen.
And I'm Tommy Slick.
At the sports desk, the reigning NBA Rookie of the Year was on campus. I'll tell you what for.
Here in Philadelphia, we have SEPTA, but across the pond, the public transportation system is called the Tube. Our London correspondent Taylor Garland took a ride.
In a city that is home to over 8 million people, public transportation is a key part of the daily routine for most citizens. The City of London offers public transportation by train, bus, and bike. There are currently over 8,000 buses in service in London and 700 docking stations around the city for cycling. There are 270 stations on the London Tube network, covering a total route of 250 miles. The London Underground is used by an average of 4 million people each day. The Underground has been operating for 150 years and has grown massively, making it easy for commuters to get from point A to point B. London's public transportation payment card is the most popular payment card in the world. The Oyster card was launched in July of 2003, and 70 million cards have been issued since. The Oyster card allows commuters to tap in and tap out without the hassle of coins or tickets. Junior Kaylee Maltz is impressed with the Oyster card system.
It's no coins, no problem, super easy to tap in and out, and makes everything really quick for transportation.
Senior Dave Picnetti commutes an hour to his internship each week and says the tube is very easy to navigate.
There's a lot of maps at every tube station that tell you which way to go throughout all of London. People really keep to themselves, they don't really talk that much, and yeah, it was a little hectic at first, but you know, I got used to it.
Temple students are exploring all over the city using their Oyster cards, becoming a part of everyday life here in London. For Temple Updates, this is Taylor Garland.
Taking a look at our international stories today, shots rang in Canada's capital city of Ottawa, leaving a soldier and a gunman dead. A frantic scene in Ottawa as rapid gunfire killed a soldier standing guard over a war memorial, then terrorized the Parliament building. One of the gunmen is dead, but police are still searching for more suspects. And new from overnight, a lockdown at the White House last night as a Maryland man tried to break in after jumping the fence. 23-year-old Dominic Adesanya made it onto the North Lawn before being taken down by K-9 units and was taken into custody by the Secret Service. And the Department of Homeland Security wants all travelers from Ebola-affected areas to enter through one of 5 designated airports, which have taken enhanced measures to deal with battling the disease. Customs officials say that more than 150 passengers arrive daily from the infected West African countries. And in the height of the Ebola crisis, a Temple professor is trying to do his part to battle the disease. Dr. Thilo Kunkel and Philadelphia Union player Michael Lihoud, who's a Sierra Leone native, started an online social media challenge using the hashtag #KickEbolaInTheButt. The goal is to kick a soccer ball in a friend's butt and take it to social media to spread money and awareness. And all the money will be donated to Doctors Without Borders.
Right across from us in Studio 3 is Bell Tower Records, where lately the smooth sounds of jazz and swing have been filling the halls. Updates Karina Chung took a listen to Chelsea Reed and the Fairweather 5 at their release party in Center City.
All of the members of the band met at Temple University and have been together ever since. Saxophonist Chris Oates said Chelsea brought everyone together.
We got together and just tried to learn some arrangements of some old standards from the 20s and 30s.
Chelsea and all the guys have a love for jazz music.
All of the jazz singers that came before me definitely inspire me every day. And also, honestly, the city of Philadelphia is pretty inspiring to me.
The great trumpet players of the past, specifically Louis Armstrong, Henry Red Nichols, Harry Sweets Edison, I mean the list goes on.
Band and Bell Tower Records teamed up last year to produce the album. It only took 2 days to record it. Chelsea and the guys enjoyed working on the record with other Temple music lovers.
It's wonderful. Like, these are all people that are our age who are passionate about the music industry and music just like we are.
What's next for Chelsea Reed and Fairweather 5?
We have a lot of gigs booked. We have some big festivals coming up in the spring, and we have a bunch of gigs in the Philadelphia area. And we're hoping to get some new arrangements together and work on some new material.
More of this. We keep playing for swing dances and for listening rooms in Philadelphia, and we're having a blast.
The band is planning on starting work on a second record in the fall of 2016. Reporting for Temple Update, I'm Karina Chung.
You can see that Chelsea Reed story plus some web exclusives on TempleUpdate.com. Learn where you can line up to get discounted prices to events in Philly, such as Flyers games, plus Lions, Tigers, and cupcakes. Temple Update tells you the places you have to go in the nation's capital. You'll find those stories and many more on TempleUpdate.com. Temple Update will be right back.
As 1,000 Temple fans gathered after Cherry and White night to watch the football team take on Houston. What is up, Temple sports fanatics? I'm Tommy Sladek here at the Sports Desk. We've got more on Cherry and White night coming up. But first, let's switch gears. Now, could the football team go 5-1 for the first time in decades? Well, let's see. The football team sat atop the American Athletic Conference with a 2-0 record, and they look to continue their success down in Houston, Texas, under the famous Friday night lights. In the first quarter, P.J. Walker looks to get a quick pass off, but it is intercepted by Houston defender Trayvon Stewart, who runs one in for 6. The Cougars go up early 10-0. Next drive, Walker gets the screen pass off to sophomore Jahad Thomas, who explodes on down the sideline. The forward third-string running back has definitely earned his stripes. He finished with 3 catches for 150 yards. That number one running back spot belongs to Thomas if he keeps this up. Then right before halftime, Walker launches one up into the end zone to Hawaii transfer Keith Kirkwood. Get up there, tall man. We have a spot for you in this offense. Despite the second half effort, the Owls go on to lose this one. Tough one, 31-10. So Friday night turned out to be pretty rough for the football team. However, the annual Cherry and White night for men's and women's basketball brought smiles to those diehard Owl fans. The event marks the upcoming season for both Fran Dunphy and Tiny Cardozo's squad, and it gives fans a chance to see the new talent and experience what would take place at the team's actual practice. The cheerleaders, Diamond Gems, marching band, and even Michael Carter-Williams of the Philadelphia 76ers showed up to get in on the action. Field hockey is nationally ranked for the 7th straight week, and a lot of their success can be given to senior Amber Utes. She's been blowing up national ranks since her freshman year. The Sports Desk Kylie Winkler got to know the girl behind the goals.
Goal after goal after goal. Amber Yutz, the senior forward, has been shattering records throughout her 4 years at Temple and is averaging 1.3 goals per game this season. I got a chance to talk to the field hockey star herself about her achievements.
Well, Amber, you're back on top with 21 goals in the 2014 season alone. You lead all players in NCAA Division I goals per game. How does that feel?
It feels great. I mean, for a while there, I was struggling to get back to the top, and I think it just shows like our hard work and how our team's doing too, that we're getting so many points in games, and I think a lot of my success comes from that.
So about 2 weekends ago now, you scored your second back-to-back hat trick in your game against LaSalle and Villanova. And how is that feeling compared to the first time you did that back in 2012?
I was pretty shocked in 2012. That was kind of like, whoa, I can do that. And I think now it's just, if the game's going well, it could happen. I think now it's a little less exciting from the beginning.
It may be less exciting for her the second time around, but Yutz has done nothing but continue to shine. With 63 career goals and 148 career points, she is ranked 4th all-time at Temple in goals and points.
So senior year, only 3 games left in your regular season. What are your plans field hockey-wise for the future?
Right now I have had a few practices with the U.S. national team, so I'm hoping to keep seeing where that can go. But otherwise, I definitely want to coach, and I always want to stay involved with field hockey. It's my kind of thing.
With the record she's managed to achieve, there's no doubt that field hockey is, in fact, her kind of thing. Reporting for Temple Update, I'm Kylie Winkler.
Last year, the football team had their hearts broken when Blake Bortles and the number 15 UCF spoiled Temple's chances to upset a nationally ranked opponent. The Owls have a chance to redeem themselves as they head down south to challenge old foe UCF to a rematch. We'll have you covered for game updates, so be sure to follow us on Twitter at @TU_sportsdesk. Back to you guys.
So to come on Temple Update, is the season for sweaters and scarves. Can we expect the chilly weather to stick around, or will things heat up again? Sarah Veronis will have your 5-day forecast.
Temple Update, we'll be right back.
We are clear for a minute 30 back.
Do yourself a favor and go try this year's Lay's Do Us a Flavor contest winner, Wasabi Ginger. And there's a Temple connection. The creator of this recipe is Meniko Springer Macbeth, a nurse at the Temple University Hospital. She says she got the inspiration for this sushi-inspired flavor from cooking with her grandmother. And she beat out multiple other chips to get this: bacon mac and cheese, cappuccino, and mango salsa. She gets $1 million prize, and I get a chip.
Well, Becca, I'm sure weather-wise you noticed that this week Philadelphia has been quite the windy city.
Wet and windy for sure. Let's go over to Sarah Veronis in the Weather Center. She has your 5-day forecast. Sarah?
Well, it's no secret that we are in the middle of fall with chilly weather and in and out showers throughout the week. But fortunately, we will see sunny skies and warmer weather throughout the weekend. Currently, it's a breezy and wet morning at 50 degrees. The day will dry up throughout the afternoon, but the clouds and wind will stay. Sally, the sorority girl, is heading to class with her umbrella as the rain may linger. She also has her jacket on, which will come in handy as wind gusts may be up to 20 miles per hour this evening. Friday will be a comfortable day with in and out sunshine at 65 degrees. Taking a look ahead at the 5-day forecast, expect a crisp and beautiful weekend. Saturday will be a mild day at 67 degrees, so get outside. Great weather for apple picking and other fall activities. Temperatures cool down and the wind picks up on Sunday, but the sun will continue to peek out. Expect a high of 63 degrees and a low in the mid-40s, so bundle up. Rounding out the 5-day forecast, Monday looks like another pleasant fall day with highs in the mid to upper 60s. For the latest weather updates, be sure to follow us on Twitter at @TU_WeatherWatch. And make sure you guys get your umbrellas ready today, put on your rain jackets, and watch out for possible showers in and out. For the Weather Center, I'm Sarah Veronis. Back to you.
Thank you, Sarah. A familiar face returned to Temple's campus to appear on TU TV's show, Temple Talk. You may recognize him as the runner-up on this season's Big Brother, but just 2 years ago, Cody Calafieri was walking down Leah-Cours with the rest of us. Catch his interview on Temple Talk on TU TV on October 29th. Now that's all for this edition of Temple Update. For all the latest on all things Temple, log on to our website, templeupdate.com.
Don't forget to follow us and like us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter.
And as always, you can watch us 24/7 on TempleTV.net and Comcast Channel 50 and Verizon Fios Channel 45. For Raina Stewart and the rest of the Update team, I'm Becca Hendrickson.
We'll see you next time.